Hello, life designers! So this week I'm back with a more personal topic and with a more personal observation. It has been now more than 3 years that I'm in my new business venture, and there are some things that I really struggled with in the beginning when starting out. In this video, I want to share with you my 3 main learnings on this journey to become a first-time entrepreneur. So the first big and very important learning that I had to make on my journey was I had to include failure, rejection, and uncertainty, or even moments of being completely clueless into my business plan and into my business strategy. And what I mean by this is, in the beginning when I started out, I felt a huge lack of confidence because I didn't had any kind of business education. I didn't have a classical MBA, so it was a lot of trial and error, and I was very insecure what I was doing in the beginning, and I always thought these moments of uncertainty, these moments where I didn't see clearly ahead about my strategy, about the planning, or these moments of rejections or failure are because of my lack of business knowledge. But what I understood later is this was not the case, and actually this was not a disadvantage for building my business. It was a huge help because I understood at one point that I am building a sweet spot business. It's a business where you combine what you do best, so where you use your strength and your full potential with what your customers, what your clients really need. And this is something which you don't know when you start out. And you can only figure this out while moving ahead, while building up something. So being clueless at one moment or being rejected is actually an essential part of my business strategy now, because I know these moments help me to really design and reshape what I'm doing with what is truly needed. And the second important insight that I had to learn over these 3 years was that I had to take good care of my intellectual well-being. So when I started out, I was really mindful about taking good care about my body, exercising and eating well, but I completely underestimated how it affects my mind, my brain, to engage in a completely new activity, in a completely new direction, where I had to allow new ways of thinking and new ways of problem solving into my life. And this was so extremely draining. And in the beginning, I made the mistake that I tried to force myself. I tried to push myself beyond my limit because I had my planning and I had my structure, what I wanted to accomplish in this day. And I felt guilty just to stop by midday when I was completely exhausted. I had to learn to respect my capacity to engage and to activate completely new areas of my brain. And something I also had to learn is I had to adapt my outer timeline for my business to my inner timeline. I'm in this profession on the long run. I want to build up something which has such a strong foundation. So this is my inner timeline for the business that I'm doing. I understood at one point that I had to adapt my outer timeline to this. And there's a wonderful quote from Tony Robbins saying, most people hugely overestimate what they can achieve in a year, and they hugely underestimate what they can achieve in a decade. And looking back now over the past 3 years, I know exactly what this means. In the first 1-2 years, I was so impatient and I wanted to move things fast. And now I understood, first of all, that what I have achieved in 3 years is already more than amazing. And I understood as well that strong things need time, and I want to build something strong because I want to create long-lasting change in other people's lives. So with these 3 insights, I hope now that if you're starting out or if you're thinking of starting out and you come to a point where you get frustrated around one of these topics, that you maybe have now a different perspective how to look at these points, and that you move through this rather challenging startup phase of being a first-time entrepreneur with greater ease and with more joy as well. So with this, I'm going to leave you for this week. I hope you enjoyed these insights, and I'm looking forward when we connect the next time. Till then, have an amazing time.